Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Happy Friday. Welcome back to another episode of 8 Bits. I am your host, djWHEAT, joined as always by itmeJP and, of course, Greenspeak. It's the week before PAX, so, of course, we won't be here next Friday because we will be weaving and dodging and bobbing and whatever else, getting through the show floor of PAX. What's up, guys? How's it going? On this show before PAX Prime 2014, one of my favorite shows of the year.
It's going good.
Absolutely. I'm excited already. I can barely contain myself.
I've never been to a PAX Prime. It's always been PAX East, so I'm interested to see how they do it on the West Coast.
This is the original.
Yeah.
This is the OG PAX, man.
It's the OG PAX.
I'll be very interested to hear your your thoughts, JP, because it's the same, but it's different. Like there are certainly pros and cons to each of the PAX conventions. Like one thing I like about Boston at PAX East is that things are very nicely confined. Like everything is sort of in its area, not quite spread out like Prime is. You might go to a theater, want to watch a panel at a theater, and then realize that it's 2 hotels over. It's just
not all okay. That's
it's not necessarily all in the convention center. But what's cool is that downtown Seattle basically becomes PAX Prime. Jeff, you obviously are agreeing with that.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but like just the fact that it's in downtown Seattle means that there's like this whole. There's a million places to eat. There's cool places. There's a GameWorks right there, for God's sake.
I was looking at my hotel 5 minutes ago and saw the GameWorks there.
Yeah, it's right there. I mean, Boston PAX Prime, I agree with you. At least everything's right there. But
there's nothing around the convention center.
But right, it's like an oasis with like nothing. You have to cab even just to go get something to eat. You're right in the heart of Seattle, which is just an awesome city. So it's just a cool place. Yeah, and the people are just as cool as in Boston. It's going to be a great show. It always is.
I'm pretty stoked for it. I've also gotten a lot of requests to go see games, and I've never booked appointments before. So I was like, I basically was just like, I'm really busy this PAX. I'm sorry, but I'd love to work with you on a stream or something like that. But for me, it's like I don't want to go book things to go see games.
JP,
and stuff.
I got to be honest with you because I know because you're a gamer that's similar to me, at least in tastes or how you approach games. And for me, if I'm not 100% vested into a game that I think I'm going to play, it becomes really hard for me to go, okay, I want to give you another 15 minutes because I already checked out 30 seconds ago. So I personally feel like the best way to approach PAX, and this is for any streamer, other broadcaster, whatever, is that I just go around, and if I see something that I really fucking like, there will be someone there to talk to. Especially on the indie stuff. Like, they want to talk to you. If you say I am a streamer on Twitch, and that boom, done. You didn't have to schedule anything. You didn't have to make an appointment. And for me, that's so powerful because, of course, I go around. If I see something mobile that pops out to me, I'll talk to them. If I see an indie game, I'll just at least get their card. Might not go anywhere, but
I might do that Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's great how open and hell, I even extend that into a lot of the AAA booths. Obviously,
totally true.
You're not going to be able to walk into Evolve and just be like, I'm just going to cut in line here and play in the Evolve too, But you know what I'm saying, I think you could get a lot of just good out of doing that. Find the stuff.
I've been on both sides of that equation. In the press days, I was one of those people. And it would be the same thing that you were saying, Weed. It's like sometimes it was awesome to cut in line and get the early access and see stuff we really wanted to see. But other times it was kind of like a chore if it was something that you didn't care about and you were trying to care and not hurt their feelings or be an asshole.
Right. And I don't want that to come in.
And what a lot of press people did, and what I certainly did at the time, was especially if I was just trying to look and not have anybody pitch me, we used to turn our badges around so they couldn't see that it said media on it, or even just take it off entirely. But I've been on the other side too when I worked at EA and I had to do a couple Sims games, and these were not particularly good Sims games, and I didn't blame any journalists for not wanting to see it. If I could have just spoken my mind, I would have just said, go see something else. But I could see their eyes glazing over as soon as, because I was the guy who had to demo the game, you know, and I could see their eyes glazing over within like 30 seconds. And they were friends of mine, and they still didn't even want to see it. And I would just be like, fuck, you know what? Never mind, just leave. Just whatever. You're not going to cover it, so thanks for stopping by. So yeah. But in general, you're right, Weed. Especially the indie guys are thrilled to get the attention and the coverage. Of course they are, right? And you know, and it's awesome just to see that enthusiasm and see that they get this public forum where tens of thousands of people can check out their game. Like, it's so exciting for them to actually be out there, you know. So I think that's what I love the most about PAX. Is that it's such a great showcase for indie, for the fans and for the devs themselves. You know, it's awesome that Evolve is there and Dragon Age and the big AAAs, but it's such a cool place for the indies.
Is Dragon Age is going to be there? Is that confirmed?
Oh, I don't know. I was just whatever. For example,
like, the trailers that they've been putting out this past week actually have gotten me pretty hyped for that game.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because I think I've just recalled PAX Prime in the past, like having, you know, that being and maybe that's location, you know, I don't know. Yeah. But I
was just saying.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Half-Life 3. That's what I meant.
Yeah, Half-Life 3 is there confirmed.
All right, well, we'll talk a little bit more about PAX as we keep the show going. Before we hop into video games, anyone got like media updates?
Still haven't gotten caught up on Leftovers. I haven't brought myself to watch it. On kind of the counter, on the complete opposite side of the television spectrum, I've been watching Masters of Sex. Have you heard about this show?
No.
Yeah.
It's actually decent. There is a lot. Obviously, the entire show is about
Johnson,
Bill Masters, who was a obstetrician, I think, and started like a sex study. I think this was back in the 50s and 60s, and basically like was the first person to try and map out human sexuality. And the show kind of follows that and his process and all of that, and the shit that he had to deal with back then, it's interesting. Plus, there's a ton of nudity on it. It's on Showtime.
And it has Lizzie Kaplan in it, who was on Party Down. If anybody ever saw that amazing comedy, so
exactly. It's a pretty good show. I'm through season 1, and I think I'm all caught up on season 2. So apart from that, I haven't watched anything else. So
I've been binge watching with the wife. Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a great show.
Really, really good.
Really good.
That's
really good.
Show.
So are you in season 1 or?
Still in season 1. We're just at the end of season 1.
All right.
So, yeah. But we did that in, like, you know, a matter of days, because it was just totally one of those, okay, next. Just keep Netflix on.
Yeah.
So
good.
Speaking of Netflix, I have two things, sort of non-video games, to talk about. Netflix, so you guys, From Dusk Till Dawn, which is a kind of a off-the-cuff Tarantino movie, was remade into a television series in 10 episodes. And I got an email from Netflix. It's like, hey, From Dusk Till Dawn, man, come watch it. And I'm like, oh, shit. Like, if I don't need any more shows to, like, binge watch on Netflix, here's another one. So I get really excited. You know, I'm totally in the mood to watch one. And I go and I load it up on my iPad. And the fucking thing's not available on mobile. Like, it's nowhere to be found. I can't watch it on my iPad, but I can sit down at my fucking computer. Why does this not got what? It doesn't. I don't. Why? What is the fucking? I mean, what?
Yep.
Is there?
You said it as articulately as anybody could.
There is sometimes like licensing in terms of, you know, it's available here but not there, but I just don't understand why those are in place.
It's bullshit. It's archaic. Someday this shit will not exist.
Wait, so the issue is you can't watch it on mobile, but you can watch it on desktop?
Can't watch it on my iPad, but you know what? If I sit down at my computer, Jay, I didn't either. Now, I've seen it happen on Hulu before.
Mm-hmm.
Because they try to drive people directly to like the network pages, and okay, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm a member of Hulu Plus anyway. So, but like, fuck, I don't get it. So I mean, I don't know if it's going to eventually become available. I don't know if I'm going to just break down and watch it on my computer. That's dumb. But I don't really. I'm not a fan of this, you guys. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's stupid. That's why I hate Hulu.
The good news is that this week on Comixology, and I think this is going for like 1 or 2 more days, but I definitely wanted to give this a shout out. There is a series called Lock and Key. We've talked about it before on the show, from Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. I mean, Gabriel Rodriguez's art is just amazing, and Joe Hill is the son of Stephen King, and it is fantastic. And you can get it digitally, all of it, for $54, single issue, which is really cool, because even though the volumes are nice, the covers of every single issue of Lock and Key are fantastic. Now, you're also seeing that you get CSI as a part of the bundle. Just ignore that part. Lock and Key. Yeah, it's because it's technically a bundle featuring both of these guys, but Lock and Key is really the reason why everyone's watching it. So you get some bonus stuff. Apparently the cape is supposed to be pretty good, but I've never read it. That's also from Joe Hill. But Lock and Key is phenomenal.
Is this the bundle? The 63 item bundle? Is that what you're looking at?
63 items for $55. I mean, Lock and Key, it's like before they ruin this on television or by movie, read this. It's really, really awesome.
All right, you sold me.
Seconded.
I need something to read on the plane.
This is a must read. It's so good.
Wait, why is CSI like? I know you just said this, but
Joe
I'm like,
Hill
what
wrote Joe Hill wrote. You know, he wanted to do Lock and Key, but he had to earn his chops. So he did it through the Cape, and he did it through CSI, and apparently this other one called Road Rage. That actually might be Gabriel. I don't know. So,
by the way, he's also written some novels, Joe Hill, that are also worth reading. If there's people out there who like books without pictures, Joe Hill's novels are great.
I'm not with you anymore, Jeff.
Sorry, I knew I would lose some people. And they're, not surprisingly like his dad's. They're kind of horror, scary, but not derivative. Like, he's got his own style going. Really worth reading.
Yep. Yeah, so check it out.
I bought this and I don't even know what it is about, so that's good.
No, dude. All you need to know that it is about a house and keys. And keys open different things. And it's about the discovery of the family, the house, and keys. And it's fucking great. It's so good. It's like It's like this, so you'd be like, wheat. I got teary-eyed at the end, man. Like, I mean, it's got it all. It's got it all. Fantastic.
All right, I'm in. You sold me.
Should we keys open different things. It's true. Should we move on to now playing, of course, the segment of the show where we talk about, well, what the hell we've been playing. I got to be honest with you guys. This week, my list is a little bit thinner, aside from some of the games that we've talked about before, but does anyone want to start?
My list is pretty thin as well, only because I had to finish Final Fantasy X. And I learned a lot about myself and the game in finishing this game.
And life?
And, well, probably life too. But the biggest revelation was the fact that Final Fantasy X is not a good game and was actually where the Final Fantasy series started to suck. I thought it was with 13 when it started to go downhill, but little did I know it started much earlier than that. 12 is still a good game, regardless of what people say. I enjoyed that. I actually beat that a long time ago. 10, the worst fucking Final Fantasy probably I've played, man. I think 13 might be better because you can actually skip cutscenes in 13. And 10, you just got to watch this shitty voiceover the entire time. I was just... At the beginning, I was kind of interested. Towards the end, after I saw enough sped up and slowed down lines so they could match the animation and everything, because they didn't record... You can't get the Japanese voiceovers, so when someone says hi or yes, like it's hi, right, in Japanese. But in In English, it's like yes, okay, or some other affirmative.
Uh-huh.
And what they do to make everything similar is speed up the dialogue in the English voiceover. So like yes, okay will then turn into yes, okay. And like it's sped up like that. It really fucks with the entire VO and the entire
Oh my
game.
god.
It makes me like it hurts to watch, especially when you die to a boss. What you're showing right here is me seeing this for the third time,
30th time, right.
and I'm just eating ice cream because I don't.
No, that's awful.
I don't care at all.
How long did this go on?
I mean, the game was 40 hours long or something like that. I don't know how much time I put into it. I didn't want to look at the save file. But it was interesting, I guess. Like, some of the fights were cool. Eventually, towards the end, I just grinded for 2 hours, so I didn't have to waste any more time and, like, just plowed through the final bosses. But not a good game. Not a good game. I'm not a fan.
You stuck through it, though. I mean, that's...
I did. I mean, I started. I'm going to start. That's the new thing now. When I play games, I'm going to start to finish them. I'm not just going to stop halfway through if I hate them. So.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a bold statement.
With that, Jeff, I'm starting to get better games.
You should probably, I would give yourself like, one free pass or something. You mulligan, know, like you get to use a mulligan. Yeah.
Every month I get one mulligan. Well, maybe I used that last night because the chat upon completing Final Fantasy X was saying that I should play Final Fantasy X too. And I had known about this game, and
what can I do for you?
I was actually more entertained in the first 30 minutes than I was in the entirety of Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty okay game. You can skip cutscenes in it, so maybe it's all right.
It's not. I mean, it's terrible, but it's not like.
It's super fan servicey. Like one of the first people you meet, aside from the three main characters, is someone named Shinra, and he's like a scientist. So that's straight up like Final Fantasy VII fan service there. And then I watched the final cutscene of that because it was on the disc. So I kind of spoiled the entire game for me, but that's all right. That's all right. I don't know if I'll ever play that, though. The combat seems really different. The game seems completely different. But it seems kind of like the dumb type of stuff that I enjoy.
You get to change outfits, man. I don't know what you're...
I changed an outfit. I changed into a darkness outfit, and then Yuna just danced in the fight, and like we won.
That's right.
It was pretty fantastic.
Sounds like you're playing it properly. Doing it?
You looked pretty good. Yeah, it was a nice dress. I was very proud.
Shopping and killing is really all gaming is about, you know.
Right. Right. And you could see that Square Enix caught on to that and made Final Fantasy 13, where it's pretty much the same thing as the series progresses. They go right back to the shopping and dressing. So. So yeah, Square Enix is onto something. I also found out that Final Fantasy X2 is rated the top 32, is 32 in the top, I think, 100 games of all time from Famitsu.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter you didn't really you weren't
confused, but then I thought about it for a while. It's like Japanese magazine.
Sure.
Yeah.
What was their number one game, just for context?
I didn't see it. This was from the Final Fantasy X2 wiki.
Oh, okay.
They just said that it was the top 30, or it was ranked 32nd among readers or maybe reviewers or something of Famitsu. I don't know. It did really well. It sold like 2 or 3 million units worldwide, which was a shock to me. I didn't know it did that well back then.
I think the Final Fantasy name alone just...
Yeah, probably. So now I just hope that that they get back on track with 15, because if not, like, I don't know, man. They have a lot of ground to pick up on with fans that have just forgotten about Square Enix and locked them away. They found those keys, and just locked the door.
They did.
I honestly got completely lost after 8. Like, I didn't even understand the numbering system. I was just like, what? X12, 3 times 4 squared? Whatever. I don't know. I'm waiting for the whole series reboot.
Yeah. I bet you they go till 20 before they even think about redoing it. Because 20 would be like a huge game, right? They would have to make a good game for the 20th one. Just like they tried to do with 10.
Well, shit, they have to actually release 15, which has been, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that franchise.
I don't either.
Certainly all over the board. if you guys don't mind, I want to bring up a game that I was totally going to play, but it was early access. And when I started reading the reviews, I stopped myself. And so the latest King's Bounty game came out, or at least released early access. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I was interested in it is because it's called Dark Side, and the whole concept of the campaign is that it's tailored to be the bad guy. So a lot of times you do, in some cases, have the choice of using some of the bad units in these games, but it's usually not the focal point. They're usually like specialty units and whatnot. Whereas this one is like, yo, you are the bad guy killing light. Like, you are going to go through and kill all the unicorns and all the happy shit in all the land. I'm like, that sounds pretty great. Like, evil tactics, I'm in. But everyone said that, like, the balance was still fucked up, that there was crashing all the time. So I guess I just want to give a personal thank you to all the folks that took the time to, like, write reviews in the King's Bounty stuff, because every single one was like, yo, first off, I love every single one of these games. Look at my profile. I put thousands of hours in. I'm not just here to troll. Like, for real, don't buy this game yet. Just wait till it comes out because you'll hate it. And they even said, a few of them even said, like, we would rather you get a finished product than play the early access and not like it and go away. So their community saved me, at least maybe some nightmares, and for the time being, $25. But I really like those King Bounty games. I really love this concept. It's unfortunate that, that it's not quite what it needs to be. But I guess those are the dangers of early access, as we've talked many times. And I'm just glad that I actually, for once, read the reviews and said, I'd take it back.
Yeah, it's a real double-edged sword. If I was a dev, I don't know exactly how I would approach it. If it was me personally, I mean, on the one hand, you're getting people, you're maybe building community and getting people talking about your game, getting some hype around it. But yeah, it could backfire if people get a bad first impression, right?
Some people say this isn't even early access.
Really?
Oh, really? Well, that's not good.
That it's actually out now.
Whoops.
That's not even...
Oh, interesting.
That sucks.
Well, that would be easy to fact check, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to bring it up because I was... I wonder if it was an early access. I mean, the reviews I read, I was looking because I was like, these must be old. But, right here, August 20th, they talk about the balance. Oh, wow. Well, guys, I guess that makes me even more sad because I was totally under the impression yesterday. But it does say I was looking at the description and it says, take advantage of buying the game at a reduced price, available during early access right now. But then it says release date August 19th. So maybe it was an early access.
Well, that game's $25. That's a lot.
$25. It's a fun tactics game. These games are. Yeah,
they are.
There's no box.
I've never heard of this franchise before.
King's Bounty? It goes way back. It actually was the game that led to the Heroes of Might and Magic series.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was
looks very similar.
John Van Canegham's. That was either his first game or one of his first games, and King's Bounty became Heroes of Might and Magic. Huh. Now, of course, it has nothing to do with him or New World Computing back in the day, but it's the same franchise, exact same gameplay, basically.
They're solid games. The difficulty level is definitely challenging and above, but they play pretty similarly, and they add little differences throughout the series. But I mean, JP, like, every once in a while they have sales on, like, the entire thing, but, I know that you're also now streaming a little bit more and looking for different types of games to play.
Needs stuff to play.
This one might be a try.
All right. This might be the mulligan as well, though.
And not necessarily this one, so I can go through and I can tell you which ones I put the most hours into, and those are the ones to really go for.
I still need to I guess, kind of thinking in the old school game, I still need to finish Baldur's Gate 1. Like, I'm literally on the final boss or the final dungeon or whatever, and I just haven't. I have
you played 2 at all yet?
No, I've heard 2's the superior game.
It is
Probably about 1,000 times, but I don't. I think what happened is I got lucky on a lot of the fights, and I rushed through the game without doing a single side quest. And I know that the final fight is gonna suck because of that. So I don't want to have to like level up my characters and like actually go get things and prepare, I guess, for the final fight. So I've just been kind of putting it off, but maybe I'll do that in the future. I don't know. The game was fun. It was just too much dialogue for me to keep interested in constantly.
Well, then don't play Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah. That's I've kind of I've realized that going forward is I just hate like mass amounts of dialogue. What was it that I was trying to play? There was something else.
I hate dialogue.
You just don't want to hear their stories. It's like shut up and let me kill shit.
Yeah, I'm very much into the killing shit, unless why or what, like, I don't know. I enjoy an RPG. I just sat through fucking Final Fantasy X that has tons of dialogue.
Fair enough.
Right? And it's terrible. It was not interesting dialogue at all. So maybe I just need to balance it out. Maybe a little dialogue in this game, and the next one I just kill people for hours upon hours. That'd be great. Jeff, what have you been playing?
Yeah, Jeff.
I've been playing a couple things. One, I got turned on to it from the Sony press conference of all things because it came up in passing, but it has nothing to do with Sony at this point. But it's Thomas Was Alone. Have you guys played that game?
I haven't.
I guess it was a Vita game. I guess it started as a Vita game, but it's on Steam, and it's a platformer. And it's an indie game, so it's a little rough around the edges, but I think it's just an awesome game. It's a platformer in which there's characters in the game who are you're leading through these environments, but the characters are actually just geometric shapes. So there's like a rectangle and a square and whatever, but somehow this guy is clever enough that he actually made there be a story around it. You actually sort of get emotionally invested without a lot of dialogue.
I remember this game now. This game was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, where each different shape has different abilities, and you need to use them in different combinations to actually proceed through the levels. So there's been a lot of other platformers like this, obviously, but it's just done in a very clever, smart way. There's a ton of levels. It just goes on for forever.
Yeah.
And it has a great progression too. Like it starts off in a way that you're like, what? Like this cannot possibly be this easy. This is not a game. But soon enough, 15, 20 levels in, you're going like, oh wait. And so after a while, it starts having, almost the Portal effect of like, okay, I see where I have to get to. At the moment, it seems impossible. And you'll spend like a few minutes trying to figure it out and thinking like, nope. And then like what I have to do is I have to walk away from the computer. And then usually while I'm doing something else, like whatever, eating a candy bar or whatever, I go, oh, that's it. That thing has to go there. And then I run back to my computer and that's it. So it's got that great, that great sense of reward.
Sure.
Yeah, it's Mike Bithell, somebody asked. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his last name, but Mike
This is on
Bithell.
iPad too, I believe.
Oh, is it on iPad? That would be great on iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic little game. I highly recommend it. On the other side of the spectrum, I've been going through both Dragon Ages because I want to be ready for Dragon Age Inquisition. So I started over from the beginning.
Oh,
and
wow.
I know that you can't import your saves into Dragon Age Inquisition. I know you can't do that. But I can't, and I know that they're going to set up that thing that's like...
you get to like choose the decisions or whatever, right?
Right. So you can go in beforehand and sort of recreate the decisions you made.
Yeah.
So that when you start Inquisition, it's like you imported your game.
Is that also? I'm sorry to interrupt. Is that also going to be a way to like bring new people into the game? Like I'm just curious because I don't know how they're going to present that, but I wonder if it will be like a summary sort of.
Yeah, I think you can if you want to. But I suspect that it's going to be something way more for old fans.
Gotcha.
Because the story and the storylines and plots are so complex that I think new fans might just read it and go, huh?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
There's a fuck ton of lore in that world, for sure.
Right.
That's why I was just one. I mean, it's a hard one to just be like, previously on Dragon Age. This
You
happened,
really
this
can't.
happened, this happened. All right, let's jump in.
2
You
hours
really
later,
Yeah, exactly.
So much.
JP's
that's
like,
the thing.
I hate dialogue.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you hate dialogue. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're so complex that I played both, and I'm replaying them because, if I went to that Dragon Age Keep thing, I wouldn't remember my decisions anyway. So I'm just doing it again just to remind myself. But I think that, it is also going to be a game where you don't have to have played the first two or know the backstory.
Yeah.
It's like a new story in the universe. I think it's more fan service that they're doing this other thing. But those games hold up, or one does anyway.
They still, I played one. I played like 8 hours or maybe 10 hours of one 2 or 3 months ago, and it still looks really good. Like
it does look good
as a game, and it still was really fun as a game. I need to go back and finish it, kind of like what you're doing for Inquisition as well. Yeah. I don't know. Are you going to try to play the second one as well?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's where I'm kind of like, it's such a meh game.
I might not. I definitely want to get through one again. And also, I want to do the same thing with the Witcher series, by the way. I haven't done that, but I want to get myself ready for Witcher 3, which I'm super psyched about. It looked awesome at E3. And that's a great series, It
really is.
There's a little bit of the kind of weird Euro. I don't want to disparage any part of this country or part of the world because I love every bits of this planet equally, but there's some often some weird shit going on in like Eastern European game dev in terms of like, I don't know, the boobs and stuff like that.
Sure.
Maybe you could argue they're just less uptight than we are. Yeah. So maybe it's actually we who have the problem.
Probably.
But there's a little too much of that going on in that game. At least for me to play in front of my wife without feeling like a tool.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, it's funny too because that series is like built upon itself, right? Like Witcher 1 was it was all right. It wasn't like huge. It wasn't mainstream success or anything. Witcher 2 came out and it wasn't for a while, but I think as the years have passed, it's actually become like a huge franchise. It wasn't at the beginning. Like
it was not.
So many people just started playing it over time, and now it's become like a fan. I guess a cult favorite is maybe. I don't know if that's a proper term.
But it did seem at Witcher 3 that it had like really arrived. It was like in WB's main booth right next to Batman and Mortal Kombat. So
I think the PC world is kind of taken that and been like, this is what our system does. It's much better than the consoles. I think that's what that game's got to become. But it should be good regardless. Like I watched the full 30 minutes from I think that was from Gamescom that they released a while back. I even downloaded the 60 FPS version, which was like 5 gigs, and it was still awesome.
Ooh. Yeah.
Can't even...
JP, I'm going in hard.
It's good, man. It's good.
And I wanted to make a plug for something that I played over a year ago, but it's free on Steam this weekend. If you guys don't know. And it's Dishonored.
What?
Oh, that game
Dishonored is free this weekend.
Wait, they're just giving it away this weekend, or like
it might just be play through the weekend.
Yeah, like Borderlands is also free this weekend. Borderlands 2 is.
But if you play the free version, you'll end up buying it because Dishonored was, I thought, one of the best games of that year.
It's great. And it's stealth, but you can actually not play it. You can play it like you can play it differently from a stealth game. You can just kill everyone.
I have it. I already own it.
It's good.
Never been installed.
It's really good.
Thanks, Steam Summer Sale.
It's a good game, man. And I didn't kill a single person in my playthrough. I was very proud of that.
Great art direction. It just looks beautiful. They have a fantastic magic system. It's just a great game.
It's challenging too. I thought it was challenging at parts.
I'm gonna add it to my rainy day list.
You should try it. It might
You'll
be
like it.
Game that likes it. That you like for once, sweet. Or maybe not. Maybe we're both just completely gonna hate it.
No, it got great reviews, and
it did. I remember a lot of people playing it, and I remember watching streams. There were like no kill streams and all kill streams and whatnot.
Right.
Did you play the DLC for it, Jeff? The Durnhold?
Yeah, I didn't.
I didn't either. I don't know if it was good or not. I only played the main game, and then that came out, and I think people were talking pretty positively about it. But I had no interest in going back, I guess.
I normally hate stealth games. I do. And this one was just so good. And it's really because of what you said. And also, if you blew the stealth, there was essentially no penalty. I mean, you could just start shooting everything up. And it wasn't like a clusterfuck like some games are where it basically means you have to reload. Like
Right.
there actually is great strategy to use if you just want to be aggressive.
Yeah.
So you can just switch to that mode and be fine, and it doesn't ruin the level or ruin the game. It just
Right.
becomes something different.
Yep. I think my favorite part about that game was like each level has a boss, right? Like a mark or whatever, if I'm remembering correctly. And like you could do things to where you didn't kill them, but they had some other like terrible thing happen to them, where you just didn't have to worry about taking them out on your own or something like that. And I thought that was really cool, like going through the levels and finding each one of those things. Because I played the game, like I said, without killing anyone. I'm very proud of that because I've said it twice now. But like it was definitely playing that way. I definitely save scummed a lot. Like I would save right before I made any action.
Yeah.
And if it went bad, immediately reloaded it. But I had fun playing it. It's just it's not a fun game, or it's not a good way to play a game if I was streaming it. And I don't think I streamed any of it. So I enjoyed it a lot, though. You should try it, Wheat. See if you can get past like 10 minutes in it.
Maybe. Let's see. What else do I have on my list? Where the hell did it go? Here we go. So I did play The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 4 this week. And I know I was a little late to the party on this because it came out a couple weeks ago. And in fact, they announced that the finale is next week. So for those of you who have been waiting to play it all the way through, and I will tell you that it's not going to be long. I mean, I think this one was only an hour and a half too. So they certainly have gotten a little shorter. They're so good. They're just so damn good. I mean, this one had my jaw on the floor.
Really?
At the end, and they did something unique with the decisions that they'd never done before. Don't worry, I won't spoil. But what they do is they have a decision that happens at the end of the last episode, and then immediately, because they're already making you feel something about that decision you made, they like immediately as the game starts, boom, there's like another decision right in your face, and you are just like, holy shit, because you just spent all that time reflecting over what you chose to do in the last one, and then they're like, congratulations, here is now an equally hard, that then makes, of course, you question the decision you made the first time. So that was cool because it was, and you probably won't have the same effect, JP, if you play it all the way through. You will take note of it. You'll be like, well, damn, like, oh, I could have, but for the fact that it was, I had to wait, a month or whatever to play this one, that had a really cool effect on me. It was the first time I was like, that was awesome that I had to wait, because I don't know if it would have had the same effect. If it would have been, I jumped right from 3 into 4.
I think we might have talked about this before, but how different is it from the first one?
I mean,
like tone and everything, is it still the same game that I expect?
The thing is, like, the tone is The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The tone is no one is safe. Like Robert Kirkman's original tagline for the series, no one is safe. That's what he said about everyone in the comics. Like, this is a world where, the people are the Walking Dead just as much as the zombies are. So does it uphold those same values and situations? Absolutely. The big difference is that you have a difference in that the first one was a lot about the relationship between Lee and Clementine, whereas this one is a lot about just Clementine's survival after the first game.
Right. Okay.
But JP, there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, no, I played through the first one, and I liked it because I'm a sadistic motherfucker, and I was like, that person's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, in comparison,
it's just a bad way to play, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're sort of missing the point.
I know. I was very, look, it got me emotionally, right? But there were points where I enjoyed watching certain people have things happen to them.
So you're kind of playing it from the zombie side.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the zombies in that game. I guess I'm on Team Zombie, # Team Zombie. But yeah, I think I did that because I was streaming it as well. Like there's this, I can't get into it actually. Never mind. I was going to talk about a certain character that I really disliked. I was glad to have what happened to him, but I just can't do it. I can't do it because then people will know.
Yeah.
and I'll get yelled
I
at.
know
So I'm not gonna
exactly
do it.
what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
it's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, next week, I think Tuesday on PC is when it'll finally be totally done. Probably be about an 8-hour adventure max. Unless they
They'll probably
tack on.
have it go on sale next week as well, I would think. With like
yeah,
3 or 4 bucks
yeah, if
knocked
they
off.
haven't already. Now, there's also a trailer for episode 5, which to me seems really dumb, because at the end of the episode, they don't show you a next time on The Walking Dead, because the cliffhanger is pretty fucking cliffhangery. So it's like any imagery of a final would like spoil something. So I would not recommend anyone watch it. I'm staying away from it.
Huh.
You know, does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. So, anyway, I love those games. I can't wait for the Game of Thrones one. I can't wait for the Borderlands one.
really, you're even into they've sold you on the Borderlands one?
You know
That's the one
why?
that's like
I'll tell you
the-
why. Is because we've said it before on the show. Like, Telltale knows how to fully embrace the licenses that they're getting.
True.
And you know what they've done with The Wolf Among Us, what they've done with The Walking Dead, even what they did with like Back to the Future. I have a feeling that Borderlands, I will like it because it will be fucking hilarious.
That's true.
Like, I just have no doubt that they will nail that. And that's why I like Borderlands. Like, you know, I like to collect loot and I love the art style and stuff, but I mean, Borderlands will make you laugh, and any game that'll make you laugh gets a +1 in my book. So that's why
I have higher hopes for that one than Game of Thrones. That's the one that worries me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you tell a story in that universe that's better or equal to what Martin or the TV show have done.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would have said, I'm sure people said the exact same thing about The Walking Dead, Jeff, when it first came out. Like, if it doesn't have Rick, why do you have it? It's like, but this universe is a lot more than just Rick.
Have they said?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Jeff.
no, I was just going to say, if they take an area of that world or some characters who are a little more to the side, yeah, that would be really awesome. If we could get like a good deep story about, I don't know, Varys's past.
That's what I was going to ask. Have they said
would be
what
awesome.
it's about, or who the central character or anything like that?
I think they've been pretty tight-lipped about it. All we know is that it's
I guess that's probably their biggest IP, I would think, that they have right now. Even, I would say that's bigger than Walking Dead, just with where Game of Thrones is, in both like TV and in
all about Hodor.
Nerd Sphere.
All about Hodor.
Like,
That's
all
the
your
whole dialogue.
answers
What if
are
they
just
did that?
Hodor.
What if they
12
made
hours of dialogue. Hodor.
You know
That'd be some
that
dialogue
people
I
would
could get behind.
fucking
Simple,
The dialogue
easy to
tree.
understand.
Think about the dialogue tree, how awesome that would be.
Yeah.
One, Hodor.
They at least that's like too good of a joke for them not to do, right? Like they're gonna have to do that at least once.
Yeah, that joke was on, I saw it on Twitter a while ago in terms of the next book being, chapters from Hodor's perspective.
Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so good.
Oh, well, I mean, that one is probably the one I would worry the most. Just kind of like, not worry, but just go, how will they do that?
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll pull that off. So
it could be great. You're right. I mean, I just hope they don't try to recreate any of the movie, but they didn't do that with Walking Dead. So you're right. Maybe they'll do that here, or the show or the books.
What else?
By the way, if you guys haven't seen the movie, this is off topic, but somebody mentioned Peter Dinklage in chat. If you have not seen The Station Agent, you totally should. It's a fantastic movie. It stars Peter Dinklage. It is a straight up like sort of indie like comedy drama. It's not fantasy or whatever. But he is a star of that. He's younger and he is brilliant. He is so good. So I highly recommend that. It's on Netflix streaming. Huh. You will love it. It's a great movie. It's a great movie to watch with your spouse or partner or whatever. Highly recommended. And that's the first time I saw him and was like, this guy is awesome.
This guy gets it.
Yeah.
It's got a 95 on Rotten Tomatoes with 153 reviews, so I'm in.
Watch it.
Save it to my list.
I just want to see a young Peter Dinklage. I see him now.
Yeah. It's crazy because he wears a suit in a lot of it too, like a suit and tie. And you're like, you're just used to seeing him in armor now, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I watched Particle Fever the other day on Netflix,
Oh,
which is
is
pretty
that
good.
good?
Yeah, it's there was a scene, and I tweeted this. There's a scene in that movie where I felt like I was not a nerd, even though I play Dungeons and Dragons basically for a
What's it
living at this
called?
point.
Is this the one about the LARPing?
No. This is about the Hadron Collider or whatever. It
Oh.
follows that. They have like there. It's like a party or something after the first beam is activated, and in the party there is this person who is rapping about the Hadron Collider, and like it. I didn't cringe, but I was just like, I am a lesser nerd than this person, and it feels really good to know that there are bigger nerds than me out there in the world. Because this is some nerdy ass shit, right? And I was just like, I appreciate this person. This person is fantastic. It was pretty funny though. It probably made the movie for me, is watching that.
Particle Fever. That's what it's called.
Fever.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It basically follows kind of everything about that project and kind of what's to come in that project. And they do a good job of also showing about that project, but also like the scientific world around that, right? So you get a lot of like top theorists out there that were not involved directly, but we're always like thinking, well, if this gets proven, then all of physics as we know it is basically fucked, and it's just been a waste for the past like 100 years. Like this is all pointless, and that's kind of what they talk about in there. And I was really intrigued the entire time. It was a good watch. It's not that long either. I think it just clocks in at like under 2 hours.
So it's not going to remind us all about the total pointlessness and uselessness of our existence, or is it?
I mean, there's definitely some moments of that where it just talks about like how grand everything else is and how like insignificant we actually are in the long or in the end of all things, I guess you could say. But I enjoyed it. I didn't get too depressed during it, so.
Well, nothing we can do about it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, we're just kind of along for the ride, right? There's not much we can do. We can complain,
Just
but that's about it.
working
Embrace
away.
your insignificance, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've been playing some Counter-Strike Go off of the hype of this past weekend.
How'd you do last night?
I didn't play last night.
Oh, I thought you did.
I was going to, and I just had, family stuff's come up. So,
no, I get it.
Last couple nights, though, I've been playing. I finally got ranked. I'm like I'm this not master elite silver, but the one under it. So.
One below. So you don't have like the little star thing in your silver?
I don't have a star. I'm not that special, JP. But I
haven't
figure
played
for my
that well.
first, 15 games of Counter-Strike, I'm feeling pretty good about that. So I enjoy the game. I really do. It's awesome to see the game continue to grow, but despite the fact that people said it was shit when it came out.
It's so insane that it's still so active. And that game is ancient
it's even
now.
more active, yeah. It's crazy now.
Oh, well, I mean, we were talking about it last night on Live on 3 where we celebrated our 200th episode, and we said, one thing that's been a constant throughout esports from the beginning to the like downfall to like now the upswing has been Counter-Strike. It wasn't the game that it always was during that time, but like it was 1.6 was such a key game into sort of the early organization and foundation of esports as you know it today. 1.6 and Source fought a huge battle when video games tried to go to television, and people found out like what happens when you try to take a game like Counter-Strike and turn it into a game that needs to be on TV, and it fucking sucks. And then, Source tried to basically live, and 1.6 tried to live off of what happened with CGS. Go got released, no one liked it, and now this past weekend 400,000 people are watching it, and more people are playing it than ever. Their average daily concurrence goes up every single day. It just there's just so few games that you can look at and go,
so what
like
is it, Wheat? What is it about this multiplayer team shooter over the others?
You give your answer, then I'll give the correct answer.
So I have two. Like there's something to be said about the fundamental gameplay of Counter-Strike and its simplicity and the fact that it has a legacy that even goes beyond Counter-Strike. You have Crossfire in Europe, or in Korea. You have 1,000 clones over in China. So this game type, I think, similar to like a MOBA, just it speaks to gamers in sort of a team-based way. But to be honest, if we're looking at Go, I feel like you just can't deny that dropping cases and giving people skins for their guns and stickers and things like kill counters that only work when you're holding it, that shit is so fucking cool, and it motivates people to play these games even more. And like, it's so blatantly obvious in my face, and I know this because I've been that guy. I've been that guy that I'm never opening a fucking case in Dota. Won't do it, never do it. Oh shit, there goes $20. Oh, never gonna need a gun. I don't need my gun to be orange. Why the fuck does it need to be orange? Oh, hey, I got this case. Let me buy a key. Oh, now I got an orange. That speaks to the gamer. And Valve, they know what is going on.
That's the answer, man.
It is.
Valve is behind that game, so it will be successful eventually.
Right.
Like that's kind of what, I mean, this will get circle jerky real quick, but I think Valve is a fantastic developer because of that, right? Like, whatever they do, if it sucks, it'll eventually become amazing, no matter what.
That's right.
Because that's what Valve is like. Everything they've done has been that way.
That's what they did with Steam itself.
Steam was absolute fucking shit when it came out.
Yes, it was.
Now it's the biggest thing in the world. And they're making the most money in the world well, not the most, but they're making a fuck ton of money when it comes to like PC gaming and everything.
You guys
only probably rivaled by the mobile world, I would think.
Half-Life 1 and 2 came out perfect.
That's true. That's true.
They were perfect.
I bet you it sucked at first, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people in chat right now, and I feel like this game does deserve a lot of credit because the success of Dota, the success of CSGO probably wouldn't be where it's at if it wasn't for this game. But TF2 was kind of like the game.
Well, of course.
CSGO,
that's right.
CSGO,
Yeah, right. And it does. I think they get all the credit.
And what's insane too is like, TF2 goes back to TF1, which then goes to Half-Life. So really, like Half-Life is the patient zero here.
Yeah.
Yep. It's very true.
It's super true.
Anyway, I'm enjoying it. I did have on my list, I added want to plays to my now playing. And I think tonight, sort of when the sun goes down, I'm finally going to play PT. And also, there's a new one going around called Five Nights at Freddy's.
I've seen that. It looks like super...
Five Nights at Freddy's?
Five Nights at Freddy's. It's apparently, like, it's supposed to be sort of, you are a security guard at a place that's like a Showbiz Pizza. With like with animatronic like guys, and so apparently something's up with the animatronic things, and you play the game through security cameras.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it looks kind of not dated. I don't know what.
It is a little like I know exactly what you're talking about. The game has a very rough around the edges feel to it. Like everything's presented in like really grainy, hard to make out video, and you don't really leave your station. Like the game plays out through the cameras, but you are still affected. But I don't know. I'm really curious about it. A lot of people in chat, of course, mentioned it, and so I'm gonna definitely.
Someone says this Night Trap turned into a horror game.
Said you're not ready for Freddy. I'm probably not.
I'm more interested in watching you play. Actually, I'm not going to watch you play PT because then I have to watch PT being played, and I don't want to do that again. I'm not a fan. The game is not good, man. Or it's really good, but it's not fun to watch.
It's not fun to watch. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's fun to watch if you're if you're not afraid of it. I think that game was fucking terrifying, and I do not want to relive any of those visuals. Because they stuck in my head for quite some time after playing it.
Really?
Yeah, it was super fucked up.
Sounds
and it's
like
only
a game.
Like it's a fucking hour-long demo, and it was scary as shit.
I might have to skip that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention Diablo 3.
Did you play the console release?
I downloaded it for PS4.
Yeah.
And I've been playing it the last couple nights. And it's pretty good.
How are the controls? That's what I got to know because
I've heard it's good.
I've heard really good things too, but I want to like hear someone who's put, you know.
The controls are good. There's one that baffles me, which is just that the right thumbstick is basically for rolling and dodging and evasion, which sort of freaks me out because I'm used to using both for movement and camera.
Right.
You know, really the left thumbstick is just for your movement, right? And you don't need the right one at all unless you're going to roll or dodge. So I spent the first hour in the game like rolling through the level, wondering why that was happening. I was just like, dude, settle down, just walk.
Is the camera always centered on you then? Is that how they get around that?
Yeah, that's how they do it.
And you have no control of the camera?
No, you don't.
Okay.
At least as far as I know.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm sure I'll be corrected in a second in chat if you can.
Sure.
But the firing is great. I mean, it's right trigger and B, I think, which feels good. And in general, it's pretty good. And I was skeptical, I admit, because I played all the Diablos on PC. I still think the PC version looks better. I'll just say it. The PS4 version, it looks a little kind of plasticky to me. Like it just looks more. You know what I mean? It looks more like a console game than it feels like being in that universe. Like a little too clean in a way.
Gotcha.
But despite the negatives, though, it feels really good as you're playing it. Like the combat feels awesome. It's basically Diablo 3, which is a great game. So yeah, I mean, I'm into it. I recommend it. But
it's not hard to heal or switch your spell or anything like that?
Not at all. It's pretty intuitive.
They did a lot with radial menus in that game, right? Where everything's kind of on a wheel.
Everything's like kind of on a wheel, or the up and down on the D-pad. I mean, it works really well. Someone said it looks crisp and smooth. It does look crisp and smooth. I agree with that, but it's for me personally, it's like a little too crisp and too smooth. I'm used to the Diablo universe looking a little gritty on the PC.
Sure.
And it seems to not have that layer of grit. But I would still recommend it. I'm still into it.
Wait, you can't continue to BattleNet. I'm sorry.
Did you see me fighting with with the full screen thing?
Yeah.
Is it pretty common, Jeff, to like actually group up with people? Like, is there sort of an open party system in that regard, or is that?
Well, that's the reason I downloaded it was to play with friends. I think
did you play with friends you had planned, or did you just? Oh, I'll just find 4 buddies.
Oh, it was people that I planned to play with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think you can do the other, but
I would guess you'd have to. But
the one thing that I've always been impressed with, I guess, with the Diablo series is it's the perfect game to just waste time in.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy to just get in that game and just go on autopilot and not think about anything. You just fucking kill things. And
I was thinking about this last night, JP, because I played it for a couple hours, and like, you never die. You don't die. It's easy, and yet it's somehow fun anyway.
It's still satisfying because you're having like the positive reinforcement of nice things dropping for you, and it's like, oh, how nice of you. Let me pick that up.
Exactly. And actually, I noticed in the console version, unless I was just getting lucky, but I was getting like really great purples like right away. Yeah. And I was just like, cool.
They did that with I don't know if you played Reaper of Souls on the PC, but one of the things that they did, I think, when they rebalanced the game was up the drop rate of a lot of stuff and up the drop chance. And I think there's also, like, right now, if you're playing, there's 50% drop rate or some shit like that as well. So it might just be like super jacked up, but
I mean, if you're really more on the Dark Souls end of the spectrum, this game is not going to be for you. It's just like the opposite.
Right.
It's just mindless hack and slashing of easy to kill monsters.
Yep.
And I find that to be very satisfying sometimes. And it's just like you say, if you're just sitting down and you just need some time to waste.
Yep.
It's fun to kill shit and get good loot for it.
And like most of the time when I was playing, right around the time when it came out, the goal in my head was I'm playing till I get one legendary and then I'm gonna stop. And I'd get that legendary and be like, maybe I can. It's only been like 20 minutes. Maybe maybe I'll get a second one here. Then that's how they got me. That's how one 30-minute play session turned into 4 hours without me even noticing, because it's like maybe one more drop.
Exactly.
I'll just get something better.
And, you know, Chad is smartly pointing out, too, that, of course, the difficulty does scale way up.
Oh, yeah.
So you can make it pretty impossible for yourself if you want to. You can.
Yep.
Yeah. Great game, though. I mean, It's always been a great series.
It is. I know we're about time for break. I guess the last two things that I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14, which is the MMO. It's the redone MMO. I hit 30 and unlocked like jobs. It has a really weird system in it. Almost similar to Final Fantasy 11 for those that have played it, but at 30 you get to unlock a quest that'll get you jobs if you have the main class level to 30 and the subclass level to 15, because one character can be everything in the game, which is kind of their stance on, or that's how it's done in that world. And I'm still enjoying it. It's still pretty fun. I've been mostly playing through it solo, but I do have a couple of people that I've been grouping up with. And then last night, I got into the Draenor beta when it was announced. The WoW beta, or WoW Alpha, back when it was, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. And yesterday they did like a play with the blues thing, which is play with a bunch of the developers of World of Warcraft and jump into it.
Cool.
I didn't do any of that, but last night about 11, I was bored. I didn't have anything to play, and I was like, let's see what the new expansion is like. And that game's still pretty good. I only did 2 quests. It was 20 minutes of work, but they've upped. I don't know if it's just me thinking that it looks better or it actually looks better. Like, I know they redid a lot of the models, but they've also done some very subtle things. Like when you click on an enemy now, there's actually like a red outline to their model. So it's very easy to see, and it like pops a little bit. It looks really, really good. They've also done things now in the starting area where there's only like one quest to start out with, and I assume they did this because most of the time on launch days in WoW, when you're there with 300 plus other people all doing the same quest, it can become a nightmare when it comes to killing the same mob, right? This one, as long as you get like damage into the mob, and I don't know if it's a percentage or what, you're still getting drops from it, and so is everyone else. So they've kind of done away with like fighting with other people for mobs, which is probably just a way of kind of dumbing it down, because then everyone can just do the same quests at the same time. You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to spawn more mobs or create anything like that. But I'm just noticing like very, very small little changes that is making a huge impact. And I actually might continue playing. I hope I don't hit 100 in the fucking beta, but I might. Like that, I don't want to start that, but maybe I will. The game comes out in October, which, Jeff, did you watch the trailer for it?
I did.
Yeah, were you sold? Like I
was completely sold. I tweeted at the time that's the closest I came to resubbing in a long, long time, and I probably will resub.
Yeah.
That was just an awesome trailer. They make great trailers always.
God, trailer was sick,
but this one was fucking great.
Yeah.
Last week you weren't here, but that night I ended up playing Warcraft 3 because of that trailer. Like I was so into the Warcraft series and the whole lore and everything. I was like, you know what? Let's go back and play. Let's not jump into WoW just yet. I want to go play something else that's Warcraft 3. So I jumped into Warcraft 3, but
I was reading at the time some haters saying like, oh, they're just like they have no new ideas, so they're just doing like an alternate universe version of the same old shit. But to me, it was like, I don't know, bring that on. Like that's such an awesome era in that lore. And it was really the last shot of the portal being built. That was like, and if you know the lore
of it, like you got some nerd chills if you knew what was going on and you've played all the other games, because you've seen that before 30 years later, and the significance of that. So that was a great trailer, man. The one thing that sucks is it has been 50 weeks without any updates to the game. Like I think that's what someone told me last night. There's not, and by updates I mean raid implementation. They've been the same content.
They're all sitting around playing Naxxramas at the office. That's why.
Yeah, they're all still playing Hearthstone. Exactly.
They got the Blizzard, the brass has to shut that shit down at the Blizzard offices.
Yeah, they're gonna have to block it.
Everybody stop playing Hearthstone and get back to fucking work.
Attention. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk news. Maybe we'll open the phones. We'll see what's going on. But we will return with more 8 bits after this quick commercial break. Don't go away.